Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to One of Each, the Dumb and Hungry podcast, where we talk about our food adventures and our favorite food groups. I'm Angelo, the Dumb and Hungry.
And I'm Macho.
And thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing all right. My Chow, how are you today?
You know, I'm a lot better than the last time we had any conversation.
Really, do tell.
I got my taste buds back.
Really?
Finally.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
This is
so happy.
Miraculous. Congratulations.
It really is.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Welcome back to all your taste buds. And
Yes,
and honestly, your sense of living and purpose.
Yes, purpose is without my taste buds, I had none, apparently.
I don't think so, because if you lose a major sense, especially like taste or smell, oh man, really, what is living? You know?
I'm sorry for everybody who has lost a major sense permanently. Apparently, what's the point?
Well, point is, glad you're back in action.
Yes, I am too.
I think I'm just applying the situation to the two of us here.
To us, yeah.
This small circle. So, but sure, that's great. I mean, how long do you think then? How long do you think that's been then since you didn't have that?
I think
they came
back.
It
was like 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks, huh?
Okay. Yeah, about 2.5.
Still got anything lingering?
I still have a little cough every once in a while, but like nothing major.
Okay.
But we'll see. Who knows? That's all that I know of. It could be more.
Yeah. But really glad you're doing better. Now,
you and me both.
I suppose you could use that to celebrate, and I don't know. What have you done to to re-engage yourself back in society?
Oh, is that what it is? First of all, it came back on Wednesday. And then a couple days later, I went to a Disney wedding.
A Disney wedding.
Yeah, like they had the ceremony it was all in the different hotels here at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
They had the ceremony at the Rose Tea Garden at the Disneyland Hotel, and then the cocktail hour and reception were in the Grand California Hotel.
Interesting. So, and I assume these were for people you knew. No, these are like
never
randos.
Before my life. I was the plus one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Ollie's coworker.
Not completely unknown people.
Yeah, and then just crash a wedding. No,
imagine. Oh man, but okay. What did they? What is that like? As far do they got the Disney characters over there? Do they?
It wasn't as Disney as I was expecting, honestly. Like during the ceremony, they were doing a couple Disney songs with a string quartet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. It was a trio.
Really? They got like a string ensemble playing at this? Wow.
Yeah, so there was that. So for all the music for the actual ceremony itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing really too Disney about the cocktail hour while they were setting up the reception.
Yeah.
But then at the reception during it was Disney songs. The host MC, whatever he was doing, he said a lot of Disney quotes. And then later in the evening, Pluto came in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you could take pictures of Pluto.
Nice. They didn't just throw in a random doggo in there.
No. It was a guy in a Pluto suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Pluto, or I guess the other characters might cost extra or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, just Pluto, and then they had a magic mirror kind of photo booth.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
How interesting.
And food-wise, there wasn't too much Disney. Like the dessert, only one dessert had a Mickey thing on it. But a couple hours after, they did a churro bar. Like after dinner was served, and it was already like the open floor and stuff. It was a churro bar, 3 different churros that you could get. Yeah.
Oh wow! Sign me up. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I will say though, the bride did a thing where they made custom ears for everybody.
Oh, that's
like
nice.
They had a set of black ears, and they embroidered guest name, and then
Mhm,
on the
mhm.
back was their wedding,
Yeah.
like Katie and Matthew's wedding, and they had an enamel pin on it of a picture of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Very.
But that wasn't Disney; that was them.
Yeah, I see. That's something they provide on their own,
Yeah,
but it's still Disney Disney themed.
themed.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
so that was really cool.
Nice. So you took that. You got to take that home with you or something, or?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Everyone, I don't know if we were supposed to, like, I don't know if we were required, but we were all wearing it during the entire night. So
Okay. And what's the name? What's the name of the couple?
Katie and Matthew.
I see. Well, congratulations. Hope you have a nice life together, filled with
Yeah,
Disney. So cool.
yeah, I'm sure.
Well, good.
It's on their bucket list to go to all the Disneys.
Oh, no kidding.
I
Okay.
respect it.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be quite. That'll keep him busy. They're pretty good. Yeah. So with that aside, I mean, so that was a pretty good way to get you back into the mix of things with your taste buds, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I went on a whole tour this past weekend.
Oh,
I don't know about a whole tour, but I did a decent amount.
well, tell me more then. What else did you get to do?
I did Saturday. I went to Sol Alhambra. That's what it was called. We've been there. You know, it's one of our old. When you used to live in the area, we used to go there maybe once. There was at least 1 month we went every weekend.
This was Korean barbecue, right?
Yes. It's Korean barbecue
And
spot.
called again what?
Road to Seoul.
Road to Seoul. Yes. It was that under another name or just under new ownership?
I think just under new ownership because I always remember it being called Road to Seoul.
All right. Well, how was it?
It was pretty good, the same as I remember. There are less options for the salad bar, the sidebar, if you will.
Yeah, let's call it sidebar because salad is just too limiting.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Probably a little disappointing actually, but okay.
Yeah, they still had gyoza. They still had kimchi, potato salad, all the corn.
Yeah. Oh, corn.
That was great. Yeah, they had corn.
Nice.
It was good. And I went with a group of people who aren't our regular group of people to go to Korean barbecue with.
So what does that mean? What are you trying to say?
We did not eat nearly as much as we normally do, as you and I and our group do.
As much as you would wanted to. Let's put it that way. You felt a little restrained, I imagine.
Oh yeah. Every time we go to Korean barbecue with that, and it's not just us, I do.
You got to be on good behavior, I guess. You can't come off
or train them better.
slowly but surely, maybe just kind of throw in there, just maybe one more order, one more plate, a few more pieces of brisket. What harm would that do?
Exactly. On the other hand, we did also go to Seven Leaves because it's on the same block, and then Afters as well.
Oh, Afters after. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So that's Road to Seoul in Alhambra. That was on what? Maine and Garfield, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Excellent.
By that theater.
The Edwards Theater.
Yes.
Great.
And across the street from Grillamal.
Ah, yes. If you remember Grillamal. Listen to one of our past episodes. Yes. You'll hear a lot more about that, but excellent. Okay. Well, good. That's also a good way to to get.
And speaking of past episodes, we didn't do a full episode on them, but you did mention them last time, I believe. La Coupe having the brick and mortar.
Excellent. Yes.
I went to that today, actually.
Wonderful. And because it's quite near where you are, which is excellent.
Yeah.
10-minute drive. I am jealous.
7-minute drive at most.
So
yeah, it's delicious. I've never had it before. It was my first time, and I am very, very impressed.
You're impressed. Did you feel like we were like lying to you? Like we didn't know what we're talking about? Like, did we do you think we hyped it up for you and then?
Yes. Yes. What? Overhype is a thing. It is a thing that happens, and it's always something I'm worried about. So I always have low expectations.
But
in this case, low expectations were blown out of the water. It was so good. My God!
All right, well, tell us what was on the menu.
That hot honey oil chicken thing, so good. It was a good fry. So that was really good. And those rib fingers.
Oh, the
Louisiana take on elote, or not rib fingers? Sorry, the corn rib. Yeah, corn ribs. That's right. Yeah. Louisiana take on elote. I'm in. It's good.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. That's interesting. Yeah. It's an easy way to eat corn, right?
Yeah.
Without having to like chew around the cob or
The
whatever,
whole, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And I am a fan of corn in all ways it can be
Yeah, exactly.
presented.
Oh, I love corn. Corn is great. You should get that kid on
Yeah.
here. Talk about corn. Wow. Okay. We'll sidebar on that. Anyway, glad you got to try that. And
Let me miss this.
okay, Boomer. So
Damn.
let's
You are older than I am, sir.
only slightly, but all right. I'm glad you got to try it. It is an excellent spot. Again, that's Lake Coop. That's on Melrose and Western. There
Yeah.
in that area.
It's a really small store.
It is a
but
small
that's
store.
fine.
Actually, are there any seats, or is it just really a storefront?
Yeah, they'd have tables.
Really?
Maybe like 4 like square tables.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right. So I
not bad.
mean, it's possible. It's not impossible to grab a spot in a pinch, but
Yeah, definitely not. And they have one wall is all brick if you're into that, because I know Oli is.
oh really?
She's
It's kind of that.
very into that. Yeah.
What, that aesthetic?
Yeah,
Now I wonder if it's the original brick of the building or if it's just a facade.
that's a good question.
You know,
I didn't knock on it to check.
no. As long as she was impressed, I mean, that's fine. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll make sure to stop by there. But glad you got to try it, and I'm glad it met your expectations.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going there for lunch a lot more often. It's not too far away at all.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, we want to speaking of that previous episode, we had a really good time last week with our friend Jammers. So if you haven't, check it out. It's we kind of get her take on some of the things that she likes to eat and is thinking about, and hopefully we get her back on for more of these kinds of things. So Jammers, thanks again, and yeah, we'll do this again. So cool. Well, it sounds like you had a pretty eventful tasty week pass.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
great.
awesome. Yeah,
How about you?
Yeah, I had my share. Again, eting for a small village, but
yes, as we do.
but well worth it. This past weekend, we also talked previously about a heavy-handed brick and mortar opening in Santa Monica, and so that's where I headed to. It was on a Saturday, and there was an event going on that same day, so they closed off part of the street there while but there was still a huge turnout. They closed down the street for an event, so I mean, like, there's a lot of people just bound to be foot traffic, but I think with or without it, there still would have been a great turnout. There's a line wrapped around the building, and I did my share of waiting. It's been a while, I think, since I've kind of done that exercise, but that was quite well worth it. It wasn't that bad though. I mean, it's pretty quick turnaround, from start to finish, getting your order. It's a very simple, they keep the menu. Everything's pretty much exactly the same as you remember it from their days at the truck, or even as a pop-up. Just simple burgers, single, double, triple, and whether you want it as a combo or not. But now you have a nice addition of soft serve in there. So nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice creamy dessert to finish off your
the burger. I see.
Yeah. And then they also serve drinks. So they got beers and stuff, and
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's really nice. The seating's all kind of outdoors, but it's a nice kind of front patio area. And then they also, take over some of the sidewalk, kind of that al fresco type dining. So you got a lot of good seats along the sidewalk as well. So it's a great setup, and I'm really happy for them. So
nice.
Danny and Max, yeah, congratulations, guys. They'd mentioned that, of course it takes time to find a spot, that you want. And they definitely had a certain type of location, that they had in mind. And when they found it, they told me like they managed to turn it around in like literally a couple months, which is like no time at all. It's insane. And so I imagine they just, spent every waking moment probably like slept there or something. I don't know, but it turned out really nice. It's really bright, vibrant. It's a great addition, to that area right there. So I'm glad I found a spot, to park and like kind of get there. But
Yeah, that area is a little rough.
it can be, yeah, especially with that event going
Street
on
closure,
Saturday.
yeah.
Yeah, so I had to find myself
Do you know what it
somewhere.
was?
It was just kind of it's like a street fair, kind of thing,
Oh, okay.
a community event. So
Mhm.
a lot of vendors and things like that. But yeah, so I found myself up like somewhere in the hills or something, and then
Oh, damn.
yeah. But hey, I'll take it. So anyway, again, congrats, guys. It was just as good a burger as it was. It's what was it? It's a short rib burger. It's a smash burger. You got a nice. They got their sauce on there, and they got like deep caramelized onions in there, so it's nice and sweet too.
Glorious.
So it's a good burger. Afterwards, we
Same day?
yeah, exactly.
Right after.
There's only it's the only way to do it, man.
Bang bang?
Yep. Well, it wouldn't really be. Unfortunately, there you got to allow for travel time. So
Yeah.
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 so I headed. So that was out in Santa Monica. So I headed out east to Pasadena, where
Damn.
yeah,
Yeah, you definitely travel time there.
yep, where I hit up Black Cat Barbecue. So another fine example of a barbecue in LA that's run by Mr. Phil Martin there. So it's interesting. He's usually over at on the west side, like in Beverly Hills and Century City.
Mhm.
But I guess he had a contact or something that got him over to this brewery in Pasadena. So that's where he was. And so while I was there, I thought, while I was in that area, I thought I'd ask Jammers to come along, see if she was interested. So she and Dave came along, and we had a nice meal together. We
Nice.
kind of strategized like what we were going to order, how what we were going to order as a plate versus a la carte, and kind of add things on. But I think we had a pretty good spread. We had things like the brisket and ribs and turkey, smoked chicken, and then mac and collard greens. We were originally going to just order a couple of ribs like a la carte, and then Phil kind of asked, we could you could do 2 for $10, or you could do 3 for $9. I'm like, oh, okay, well, obviously we're gonna do 3 for $9. So thanks for looking out, Phil.
2 birds though, huh?
Yeah, a lot of vegetables that
Surprising.
day. Well, again, we have we've had our share of good turkey, and this was no exception. So this was a nice,
good.
nice selection that we had. And then we played some, they brought some board games, and we played there too.
Oh, nice. What'd you play?
What did we play? Dave had a pretty cool, like, kind of Marvel themed game that kind of similar to King of Tokyo, if you remember that game.
Yes.
So for those who don't, just Google it, because I can't explain it. You know me, I am terrible at explaining some things. But it's a Marvel themed game. But I hope you enjoy that. If I find the name, yes,
is it Thanos Rising?
I'll ask Dave or Jamie. That's fine. Anyway,
you played it.
I know, and I enjoyed it, but that don't mean I'm remembering.
Oh God! All right, fine. Too focused on the food. That's fair.
Yeah. So, that was pretty good. And then on Sunday,
right after,
no, not quite right after, we did give some time, some space in between. Just kind of let the food make its way around. But the next day, we met up with some other friends at this space called Al Noor in Longdale. It's in South Bay. It's an Indian and Pakistani restaurant. It's a really solid spot. They got kind of the typical Indian dishes like tikka masala, tandoori, things like that. But I think we mixed it up a little bit. We got dishes that were maybe not as typical.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we got things like like goat and lamb and
Mm,
other kinds of meats that we wouldn't maybe typically choose right away.
that's
Um,
pretty traditional, though.
no, but I mean, like as far as I think what we would order,
Really?
typically, yeah. Again, like I said, you'd probably order
Okay.
like a chicken tikka masala and be done with it.
Okay.
But these dishes, they were quite good. I think we were a little ambitious in our ordering,
As per usual.
because I think one
With
of
you.
yeah, well, it wasn't me for once.
What?
Yeah, our friend Ron, he uh, he had a long day, and he was I don't know, he had a long day, and he was hungry. Let's put it that way. And so he wanted to order a lot of
Okay.
different things, and so I obliged. I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. And then but we definitely ended up with leftovers. So but yeah, it was these it was Ron and our other friend Xiomara and her husband Diego. So we had a nice dinner together, and we enjoyed ourselves so much that we overstayed our welcome, and they kicked us out. So
Damn.
well, so anyway, but
What, like, did you go during closing time or was it just busy?
um, I think it was close to maybe like a couple hours before closing. Yeah. So it gives you an idea of
Nice.
like how long we stayed.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
I mean, we spent a lot of good time like talking and stuff,
Of course.
but also good enough time eating. So Al Noor is that spot. So good spot. Anyway, speaking of more food, but we want to thank everyone again for joining us once again. It's amazing, really. Last that episode with Jamie that marked 10 episodes since kind of started. So
God damn.
I feel like that's a pretty significant number for us, considering that we thought that we would not go past 0. So that's pretty good. All
Just the
considered.
pilot and be done with it.
I think so. But I guess we'll stick around a little bit, and we thank you for sticking around as well. So, yeah, we continue to talk about a lot of our food adventures, and some of the local spots and the pop ups and everything that we've come along the way with good food and good people as well. So, this week, actually, yeah, this week will be I guess we'll be changing up a little bit because we've been talking about barbecue for the last several weeks, which is no
Yeah.
problem. I could continue talking more. We will continue talking more because there are definitely a lot more spots I'd love to talk about. But today, I guess I'll give it a little break and give you a little something. Today, we're gonna talk about tacos. We definitely talked about tacos before, and burritos as well. I feel like those are important food groups. I don't know about you, but they're definitely an essential thing. They are,
Especially here.
yeah. I feel like they're like the lifeblood of LA. They run through my veins, and they give me the strength and energy that I need to keep going.
It's called cholesterol.
Well,
But
yes, that too. But I ain't complaining. And burritos. I mean, burritos are really LA's to go. For things you need on the run, and when you need something portable. Because we're always driving, and we're getting from one place to another. So we need something that's easy to grab and munch on. So I think burritos are a good way to kind of do that. But
depends, because the thick burritos are kind of hard to do one-handed,
I think it just requires a certain type of skill set.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you're not, then you're probably weak. So
Hey man, you remember those El Gran burritos? They were massive.
yes. Oh man, yeah. Those are pretty good. We miss them. We should.
I really do.
I know. All right. Well, but these types of these foods that we're talking about today come from two pretty special spots as well in LA. We're actually going to do kind of a 2-for-1 today, and it's not really to take away from the stories of each of them because they both have incredible stories, and I feel like you should check them out more when you have time. But I put them together because I feel like I wouldn't have tried one without the other. And so I feel like just kind of the story kind of goes along pretty well, hand in hand. Um, so we're going to talk about two places. The first is the Chori-Man, which makes some excellent chorizo, as well as LA's beloved Sonoratown. Sonoratown is a really wonderful place for tacos of with flour tortillas. You know, we've talked about our share of flour tortillas from previous episode, but Sonoratown is just one of those other places that you can get some really excellent flour tortillas along with the great meats that they serve, from carne asada to shredded beef and chicken and everything in between there, in a wonderful storefront in the fashion district in downtown. So we'll be talking about those, but let's start off with with the Chori-Man here. And like I said, the Chori-Man is is headed by this gentleman, Mr. Umberto Regosa. He's what you consider like an artisan chorizo maker, and he makes a really mean chorizo. We'll play for those who are listening. I'm sorry you can't catch this here, but we're just playing a little video of what he serves up here. He has this red, this green chorizos, which are very popular. Just everything like chorizo related, he's kind of learned to make. He's kind of traditions and skills have been passed down to him, and something he's really done good work on. I think he, from what I remember or understand, he might have been doing this kind of work as early as 2013, something like that, early 2010s, let's say. And he's like, just like a lot of these other places, you kind of start small. You're in the streets and you're pushing a small cart, and you're just kind of selling to anyone who'll get your attention. And I think that was quite an excellent way to go. And so he kind of continued to go from there, and eventually opened a storefront, in I want to say 2017 or so. But I think most of his business comes from like wholesale, restaurants and places that buy wholesale for chorizo. So the storefront is there to serve the people, the local community, and people who will drive to there. But you'll definitely find his chorizo throughout in different businesses and things alike. So what we're seeing here is them building the Chori-Man breakfast burrito, which is really a glorious type of. I think breakfast burritos, honestly, are, if anything, are probably LA's go-to. I mean, as far as burritos go, that's kind of the thing, the move to make. And so you've got your line of chorizo, your cheese on filled with like fried egg and potatoes, all wrapped in a nice flour tortilla. And the eggs are just like kind of a little runny, and so when you bite into it, it just kind of fills the little crevices in the burrito and makes a nice creamy, satisfying bite. And yeah, it's really something really good. And I'm not sure what your thoughts are on on chorizo generally, but it may not be for everyone. They might say, maybe because whether it's like might be too spicy, or maybe sometimes the texture might be a little different for what they're used to, maybe. But this guy, I tell you right now, he just does something that's just really excellent. Just you got nice kind of earthy flavors from the chorizo, nice heavily spiced. And yeah, it's a little spicy, but I think when you kind of have it, as a package, like with the breakfast burritos or like some of the other kind of dishes they make, I don't know, it's just it just makes for a more, just more filling, just satisfying kind of bite of chorizo. I think it makes you appreciate it, a little more, what chorizo can or should be. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's Mr. Umberto right there. But we want to take a look again at just some of these items here. You take a look at the menu. And there are obviously chorizo has its own kind of rich history, probably trailing all the way back from Spain. But we have chorizo. I mean, even us, my chow, Filipinos got our own little takes on chorizo too. But we're talking about chorizo from areas of Mexico, Zacatecas, that kind of thing. So we got a red chorizo. You can see here a green chorizo, and you see here like just kind of the types of spices or chilies that are kind of put in there to give it those signature flavors. They also serve. I see here this Argentinian chorizo, which is a white chorizo, so it's definitely a lighter color. And then this sweet maple habanero. Yeah, I've had them a couple times, like in a sandwich or some other dish. And yeah, it is sweet because of the maple in there. But it has that kick right after because of the habanero. It's pretty interesting, and quite like it a lot.
Okay.
But like I said, yeah, I think honestly they serve great burritos in general. But yeah, I think the go-to for me would be like a breakfast burrito because I don't know, I just like the egg and the potato in there. Um,
Hmm.
and then something like a with chorizo in there. It's just something that's overall just a really really good bite. So I think I enjoyed that a lot. So uh, that's um, that's the Chori-Man. I do want to thank my friend Janice. I don't think you've met her yet, but she's probably one of the nicest people that you will ever meet. She's just so nice and just
Yeah,
really kind,
she's
and um, she always likes to look for the good food spots too, and been lucky
nice.
you know to join her and have her along for some little food adventures of her own. So Janice, if you're listening or watching to this, yeah, let's hit it up again sometime soon. So that's pretty good. Um, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So Chori-Man, they are out in San Pedro. Okay, so that's
Hmm.
kind of the very south part of LA. That's the end of you take the 110 all the way down, down to Gaffey, and Gaffey goes, kind of all the way down south, and eventually you find your way to the Chori-Man. It's a small storefront. It's a real, yeah, very uh, I'd say very loved spot by the community, and right next to the Chori-Man, by the way, as a small side note, is an excellent bakery called Colossus, and they make some excellent like bread and pastries, just really flaky, like croissants and just all sorts of pastries.
Okay.
But they're right next to each other, and so it'd be wise for you to, you know, hit up both when you can, So I think that's the move, honestly. But yeah, we've had just excellent times to excellent foods to try out. I mean, so here's the thing. Like I said, they're in San Pedro, right? So once you once you order your food, right?
Hmm.
Honestly, there's like sometimes like a bench or like a table that you can sit at outside. There's no real seating inside. So you can sit outside, right? And it's nice. San Pedro,
Yeah.
it's by the coast, by the water, so it's a nice cool breeze, right? So why don't you take that to the next level? Drive further south a little bit, right? To the end, the very end um where you have Point Fermin Park, okay, where they have the lighthouse and
Mm.
there's a park there, and it's literally by the you oversee the water. It's a beautiful view. It's just south of where the Korean Friendship Bell is, which I know we've
Oh,
been to.
I was about
Okay,
to ask.
but this is kind of a view right there at that park. You got benches throughout, and of course you do it for the gram. Take a nice little picture and with the water. But it's
Is that what this picture is?
Yes. As you will
You
see,
can't tell what's in the background.
it's water.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
blue. Isn't
Is
it?
it?
Blue water is blue and a little green. But anyway, it's a nice view, okay?
Okay.
But an even nicer view of that burrito.
Yeah, good cross section.
Yeah. You got in this case you got the green chorizo, you got the
Oh,
the potatoes stuffed in there too. There was a period of time, I don't remember if they still do it now, but there was a period of time when they swapped out the potatoes for like tater tots, and that was pretty good too.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
But the potatoes, they have they got a more just kind of full bite, I think.
Mm.
But yeah, I enjoyed this one, and of course you see the fried egg there, kind of in the perimeter of the cross section. But yeah, that was tasty. I tell you that right now. But yes, I feel like for most of my visits, I will find my way down to that park and then just enjoy my food there.
Okay.
Yeah. But in addition to the excellent burritos, sometimes they also serve up like other types of dishes that they share and talk about. And this example here was like some nachos that they had. They call them like the Chori nachos, and that was a good example of kind of other dishes that they serve. Also, they'll serve wings. I mean, they served wings at one point. I can't recall if they kind of do that regularly, but hey, you want wings? Hey, they got wings, and those were pretty good too. So, yeah, that's really kind of the move to make. But I wanted to find a few more kind of places or visits, I think, to the spot. And like I said, here's another burrito
See, that's a good
by the
picture.
water. Okay,
That's not with your phone.
that's correct.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Um, Again, it's like just right there. It's above. It's like elevated, so you're just above. Where the water is. You can oversee. The road that runs along the coast, which I forget what that is. It's PV something, I imagine. That's near where it is, um, but yeah, this is the red chorizo breakfast burrito.
Mm,
That's the move to make.
important. Yeah.
Yes, very important. But yes, in cases like these, again, as you've so observed and endured, I guess, camera eats first, and
Ah,
you
yes,
know,
yes. And you're by the shore, so it's colder, so that gets colder faster.
yes, but it's just as every bit delicious, to be honest. So
Probably frozen by the time you eat
yeah,
it.
well, yeah. This was another visit. I don't remember. This must have been like in the early morning. This visit here. This is a burrito, a chili relleno burrito. So it's not a breakfast burrito, but
Mm,
you can see that you have the green chorizo in this case, the beans, and then there's chili relleno in there, um, and very cheesy as well. But this was in the morning. I don't remember why I was out there so early, but I also remember I think that was also the same day I probably got pastries too, and um, had them like kind of side to side. But yeah,
okay.
so but another excellent example of a burrito from the Chori-Man himself, and again by the water, but on that same morning, I guess I had ordered. I believe this
Ooh,
was pozole.
totally.
Oh
Yeah.
man, you yeah, exactly. So the Chori-Man makes a mean pozole.
Ooh.
He also makes a really good menudo. I've had that
Oh
a couple
yeah.
times. I don't think I remember. I don't find any pics here, but yes, he's made an excellent pozole as well. Menudo. But yeah, either of these are just really excellent to try as well. I think at those times I think they used to be like kind of seasonal or like available at certain points. But yeah, especially on a
Mm,
cold morning, it's a very warming and comforting kind of thing to have. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So another a solid place to try. Uh, I believe this here was the maple. This must have been the maple habanero,
Oh,
I
okay.
believe. So I lost my feed here. Where did they
Uh-oh.
go? We're back. Okay, so But yeah, I believe this was also a breakfast burrito. Yeah, I mean, I just can't go wrong. Just burrito, chorizo, potato, fried egg. Yeah. So this wasn't quite by the water, but it was close enough.
Is it? All I see are cars.
Oh, look, we got a little friend there.
Ugh,
Um,
rabid, probably.
I had a quite spread a few items in this visit. I was back there at the park, and I
Mhm.
just kind of had it laid out in a little box on the table, and yeah, this little guy would
They steal your food?
no, not quite, but
Okay.
he was definitely eyeing it, and I think there were two of them. So,
Oh boy.
but this was just another green chorizo breakfast burrito by the water. Okay,
Yes, yes.
yes, as you can tell, it is very reminiscent, a resemblance of water. So, um, yeah, so it's a good burrito. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. It's too
Okay.
bad. It's so too bad.
Far away.
Well, for you,
Oh yeah, fair.
but honestly, it's a straight shot down. The 110. If you can swing it, I mean,
I mean,
it's
I'd have to go through downtown.
mm, yeah, it might knock it down a couple.
It's
But
okay. Fast track. Fast track.
that's right. You get a fast track, you zip right down. So, um, yeah, that's excellent. So that's the Chori-Man. Um, and yeah, again, I talked about Janice, and I remember she I had helped her uncle out with something, and as a reward, she made a Chori-Man. So
Nice.
that was the highlight of a lot of what I look forward to. So thank you, Janice. and and so that was the Chori-Man. So where does this lead me? So Chori-Man, like I said, they do a lot of wholesale, right? And
Hmm.
they serve a lot of businesses with their excellent chorizo. And one such of those places is, in fact, Sonoratown.
Ah,
Yeah. So that's probably, I would say that's probably the way I, kind of figured or found out like, oh, I should try these guys out too, because, I mean, I think we've already started hearing about them. They've already kind of made waves, in the food news and community and all
mm,
that. But I thought it was time. Yeah, I should try these out. And again, they do feature, the Troy Man's chorizo. So we take a look here at the menu. Okay, so Sonoratown, relatively simple, nothing crazy, right? You've got the different meats. You got the grilled steak. You got the chicken. You even have tripe and
nice.
chorizo. And it's a special kind of Sonoran style chorizo, which the Chori Man himself kind of makes, especially for them, which I
Wow.
think is really cool. Um, but yeah, with that, you get them on laid on top of a. They are laid on top of a flour tortilla, and
Hmm.
so you can
Hmm.
get like the small tacos, right? Small little, I mean, they're pretty hearty, but they're tacos. But I think what really attracted me to them was their caramello, and the caramello is like the hybrid almost like of a taco meets quesadilla. It's a much larger flour tortilla, right? And you lay it down with the meat, the cheese, all the fixins, and you still fold it over, kind of a um, ta- like a taco, right? But it's just further cooked on the grill, almost like a quesadilla. I mean, so that's a caramello, and it's what's really nice is they serve it with like um with beans, and also like they top it off with like um a nice green onion on there. It's really interesting, but very delicious. And then you've got your chivichangas, or they call
Uh,
chivis. And chivis are like small burritos, still in a flour tortilla, but it's usually going to be a shredded meat. So it's going to be beef or chicken, with the cheese and a chili in there, tomato. So it's just wrapped up. It's a small package, but um, very bite sized, but very satisfying. But then you can move up and go all the way to the burrito 2.0. And I think that probably be the move. You get a burrito. They it's like the best of everything, in one package, including guacamole, which they make especially for the burrito. But yeah, just take a little look here. You see what they have here. That shot was just the caramello. But this is a real treat. There's the flour. It's handmade, right? And
Yeah.
it's just placed on the grill. Look at that. That's just incredible. Oh my god.
I love that.
Right? Like charred
I
and
love flour tortilla.
blistered, and
Yeah.
it's still really soft, and yeah, it's just almost delicate, to bite into. But it holds up, and it's a real nice bite. So yeah, again, I mean, we've I don't know what it is. Again, like we've said about a flour tortilla, but there's just something that's like really nice about it. And I
Yeah.
don't think there needs to be a debate per se, corn versus flour. I think they're both excellent, but I think sometimes we might lean a little towards the flour. Might be a little more.
Personally, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's really cool. So you see how they just puff up there on the grill. It's just something else, man. And I think from that shot, I think they're saying like they cook it in, like it's kind of fried in like lard or something.
Oh, nice.
So it's a little something, a little extra. So it's quite excellent. Yeah. So Sonoratown is really really awesome. It's a real special spot for LA. I think the people behind it, Jennifer and Tio, they really put a lot of love, and I don't know, I guess they put a lot of effort into making a really good product. And I believe, I remember reading like from their, whenever they post on social media, it's like they're saying we're driving down to this area, this special area like Sonora region, where they sell this special type of flour, that you make these flour tortillas with. And so they would pride themselves, right, to go out there, pick up the flour, and that's like several hours, I want to say.
Yeah.
It's like each way, you know. So to go out there to get this type of flour that would work best for this, kind of dish. I mean, that's real commitment. And just to make something that's real special. So I commend them for it, and I think it's truly a wonderful. Oh man, it's just so good for LA. But yeah, they're like in downtown LA in the fashion district. And it was just like a small storefront. There were some seats available, like a little counter along there, some bar stools, but there was a space next door. I don't remember what it was, or if it was still around at that when they first opened. But they eventually took over that other space, which I think was great. So they expanded the footprint. So yeah, this was it was definitely a little different. So I think like what I'm seeing here for those watching, or I'm sorry, for those listening, like you've got this, I think this was the other half, so on the left side where this wall is, what is, the other side is where they where they were, their storefront. And so they'd have to knock this wall down in order to expand into the next space. So yeah, it was definitely a big effort, but it was definitely well worth it. Yeah, I mean, also if you have a chance, you can check out the Netflix series Taco Chronicles, because they're featured there, although a little briefly. I wish they had. I wish they had a little more screen time, but um, I think their episode was about carne asada, and so they highlighted them in part of that episode because they make it really good. They do make a really good carne asada, to be for what it's worth. Um, and but that was pretty cool to to have them on there. Um, where are I keep talking about that. I wanted more pictures. Where did my pictures go? But yeah, I think I remember, not soon after I had visited the Chori-Man. Yeah, I'd been hearing about Sonoratown, and I thought, yeah, definitely need to visit them. So that's more Chori-Man. So we need to switch that up here. But this was probably one of my first meals over there. This was the original storefront. Can't really tell, but I mean, like, when the space was smaller. But there was I remember it was like a small, like when you enter, like on the left side, there's like this small counter space, maybe like 4 or 5 stools or something. And so I find myself a little stool, put my big butt on there, and then and just find a little space. So these are 2 caramellos, and I think one was carne asada, and the other one was chorizo. Okay, and you can see the again the green onion thing that's grilled on there with some lime.
Mm-hmm.
You hit it with a little bit of lime, man. It's like a perfect bite. A little bit of salsa with there, and then the agua fresca with the horchata. That was definitely the move.
Of course.
Yeah, and I don't remember. It's been a little while since I visited, but like definitely during those times, the when the owner's Jennifer, like she would be there, either at the front or at the register itself. And yeah, she's always so friendly, just such a warm greeting, kind of a bright, disposition. And yeah, just I, certainly always very happy to, have someone, have people visit and try the food and, just have a good time. And so I really appreciated that. And it was a really good, bite there. So, but yeah, but also I had I believe this was the cheapie. So, because why not both, right? So, but, yeah, so I had that as well. This one was also I think it's a picture of the burrito because this has must have the guacamole in there. Yeah. So this was a example of the burrito. And, that's a pretty hefty bite. But you know me. I mean, it's like one of each. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
This was another pick. You can see some of the storefront there in the background. You can kind of see like on the left side, that's where you would order. There's the counter, but then you would also see past there some of the the grills and where they would grill some of the meats on there. So it's nice to see and observe. And then the side where I'm on, which is to the right of the entrance, is the counter space. And this was chorizo. I can tell, it's Chori-Man chorizo. So yeah, I think almost every visit, I think I'd make it a point to get chorizo. It'd be like carne asada, chorizo, for sure. The third, I've had the chicken, I've had the tripe, just try a little bit of everything, but definitely the chorizo and the asada is like kind of the go-to, to be honest. So those were awesome bites. This was another pick of the burrito. Yeah, I just can't say. There's a lot of good things to say. So they had also like competed and stuff. Like they were like champions. I think Jamie talked about this. Like they had competed and for like the best tortilla or whatever. And I think for at least one of those they had won. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, as far as more like visits there, this was like another one. I think this is when they expanded already. You can't really tell, but because this is just really of the food. But This was done outside. So in the storefront, I don't remember if it always existed, but there's like a small extension of the storefront. Like it's more counter space. So probably have like, I don't know, 6 or so people that can kind of sit around um, and they can enjoy their food outside, which was pretty cool. So these were tacos, small bites, right? This one definitely, you see the chorizo here on the left and the carne asada in the middle there. But this was all dressed up with the salsa and every and the cabbage as well on there. Yeah, it was yeah. And I think that was watermelon agua fresca in the background, very bright red color there. So yeah, nothing wrong with that. So this was just more tacos, and I think this was a chivi. So I don't know what you're thinking. What do you think your order would be if you had when if you had the chance to go there?
Well, obviously one of each. I mean, can't get around that.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Um, but yeah, I honestly am a fan of tripe. I would try that
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think tripe.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And I remember, like early on, they only had certain hours. They weren't open too late.
Mm.
They weren't open every day. But eventually, it was like almost miraculous, almost like a godsend when they announced, they had more hours, and, more days and things like that. But that was pretty cool. And then a couple more things here. I remember, we now kind of flash forward to the time of like during the pandemic or whatever. So,
Uh-huh.
a lot of people were doing takeout and trying to like figure out how they could serve food and everything. This is a chivi platter. So,
Oh wow.
so I ordered a whole platter for myself, and
Ah,
this,
I see.
again, there's no hanging out, no partying, no nothing like that, right? So, this was the way to go.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this was again, you got to support your small and local businesses, right? Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, this was chivis, little chivis in a small platter. Yeah, that was just another good way. And then here we have more tacos featuring
Your
the
blanket,
ever venerable blanket. So,
your hated blanket. Yes.
well, depends on who you talk to. But again, chorizo asada, that's the way to go for me. But yeah, that Sonoratown, that is kind of one of LA's, I think. I mean, we are taco town, like I said. We've got every street corner you go to, you're probably gonna find a taquero. You're gonna find someone that serves tacos that will be satisfying and filling. And Sonoratown is no exception. And Sonoratown also is just one of those places that just kind of goes a little beyond, and just delivers a really good example of a great bite of a taco and on a flour tortilla. So, which is so cool. Um, Thankfully now, as popular as that location is in downtown, they also have a new location in Mid City. So, if ever you find yourself over there, um, you can get your Sonoratown fix in Mid City. So, that's just more Sonoratown to go around. So yeah, that's a lot of what I've had to say. I mean, that was an excellent. Those are two excellent spots, I think. Maicha, I think if you haven't had a chance, you should pay a visit. I think so.
Yeah.
Um,
It's been a while since I've had Sonoratown, so maybe it's not too far.
Yeah, it's not too far. Maybe we'll find our way down to San Pedro or something, um,
Uh,
and we'll try something out there too by the water. You know,
we'll see.
Try not to get the food too cold by then.
That's on you.
I know, but tacos and burritos. I don't think it gets any better. Again, that's I feel like that's a lot of like LA's identity. Among all the other great, excellent foods we have, big and small. Comforting and everything like that. But hopefully, you know, you find yourself around to try it one time, and hopefully let us know, how it goes. But aside from that, I think we've come to the end of another episode. So we made it. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for enduring once again. We are excited to continue bringing more of our food adventures, and you're here on Instagram and Dumb and Hungry, and you can jump in the chat when you find us streaming here on YouTube. If not, otherwise you can find the audio wherever fine podcasts are served. But until next time, I'm Angelo.
I'm Michael.
And on your next food adventure, remember to try one of each.
All right, we're gone.
Yeah, we're clear.